Oh my gosh, hello, Diabetty. How are you?
I'm doing great. What's up with you, Glitta?
Oh, not much. I'm just trying to figure out what is better? Is it Central Time or Pacific Time?
What a great question. Well, Pacific time is great because it's earlier in the day already.
That's true, but you know what the best time of day is?
It's Drag Race
It's Drag
time!
So, hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's me, Glitter Gal, and today is a very special episode because several reasons. One, I'm on a Zoom call with Miss Diabetty all the way from California. Hello.
Hi,
Um,
Glitta.
Hi. And two, we are going to be discussing the entire season all in one episode of RuPaul's Drag Race UK, which just finished the other day. So if you haven't seen it yet, spoilers ahead. Get on Wow Presents Plus or whatever you got to do and watch it because it was so good.
I couldn't believe it. It was a perfect season, love.
Okay. Okay, I see what you did there. So, Miss Diabetti, tell everybody about you. What do you do? Who you are? What's going on?
Well, the name's Diabetty, not that Diabetty. She's prettier than me. I'm a comedian out here in LA. I've been doing drag for a little over a year now. And as a boy, I do music comedy. As a boy, Adam Winney, I have a music video coming out in a couple months that I put a lot of money into. So check that out. That's going to be so good. And then as soon as the clubs in LA open back up, this bitch is going to be out on those streets ASAP. I can't wait.
Yeah, I'm super excited. That's a lot of really exciting news. And of course, I will link your Instagram and Venmo or whatever else you want me to link in the description down below. So definitely make sure to give Miss Diabetti a follow. I usually ask a good trivia question in every one of my videos, and I'm actually not going to do that this time, mostly because, yeah, I know, I'm sorry, but making it through an entire season in one episode, I feel like we've got a lot going. I do want to tell everybody though about our looks.
Yes, of course.
Yes. So why don't you talk about your inspiration first?
Well, I have this wig, and so
That's how it always
I did.
starts.
It starts with a wig and then a dream, and so I just wanted to go for a little Divina de Campo, but put my own take on it.
Yes, UK queens.
I feel like a Mortal Kombat fighter too, just a little bit, which isn't really UK, but it's still me.
Hello, Lawrence Cheney was my inspiration. I even got the little mole there.
Oh, so
So
lovely.
hello, right? So are you ready to get into it? Are you ready to talk about the whole season of UK, season two?
We might as well take a jump into the river, you know.
Honestly, first thoughts, they walk into the workroom for the very first time, and we've got more queens this season than we did in season one.
Yeah, we do. And which I love. I get why you have a first season with like a starting cast. Like you just want to get like it's like a pilot. So it was lovely seeing like they killed it season one, season two. I love this cast. There's not a bad egg in this cast. Perfect dozen.
Honestly, when I first saw the Meet the Queens thing, I was like, oh crap. Who out of all of these, they all look so polished and so great. Who out of these queens could even go home first? They all looked so amazing.
Mm-hmm. And that's why well, it's interesting. I remember watching the episode the first time. I guess spoilers, Joe Black went home first. And I remember being so conflicted. I was confused at the bottom two in general that episode because I didn't think Bimini should have been close there either. But look,
Who do
going
you think
back
should
and
be in the bottom two of the first?
I thought Sister. I did not care for her Dusty Springfield or her Liverpool sort of jammy look. And then Oh, I love Tia Coffee so much, but I didn't fall in love with her until episode 3. So at that point, I was like, this is weird.
See, I thought in the first episode, I agreed with Bimini in the bottom because like her second look was just like kind of like a little soccer uniform. Like it wasn't really gabby or anything special. I was shocked Joe Black was already in the bottom.
Yeah.
I thought Joe Black's, both of his looks, I thought were pretty great. I didn't get it. It should have been Bimini and Sister Sister, in my opinion.
In my opinion, Sister Sister did the worst that challenge. Yeah. So I'm actually, it doesn't matter who else was with her. I'm mad this year, but whatever.
The first challenge, so we've already kind of got into it. They had to do a look of a gay icon, and then they had to do a look from their hometown. And the winner was Estina Mandela, who did like a Naomi Campbell, which Taste also did. Mm-hmm. Whose Naomi Campbell did you think was better?
Estina. I got to give it to Estina because she went for a very specific Naomi, and then she executed that Naomi to precision.
Episode 2, this one was Rats the Rusical.
Rats Fever.
Yes. So Tia got to do the casting, right?
Because they did a vote. They did a vote at the beginning of the episode for the mini challenge.
She was the basic bitch or whatever. Yeah, they had their little voting booth thing, and Tia got the basic bitch, so she got to be the one who assigned the roles in the musical. And so Rats, obviously a spoof on Cats. Veronica Green won the challenge of the Rusical. Like, she was the standout singer, performer, the whole thing.
Totally deserved it. And her runway 2 was like, just, she solidified her win.
And the bottom 2, so this bottom 2 shocked me a little bit. Like, I don't think that I disagreed with the bottom 2, but so when I first saw them Meet the Queens, right away I pegged Cherry Valentine as somebody who would make it very far. And to see her go home in episode 2, gagged.
I couldn't believe it. I was very confused. Because she just seemed like she had everything together, and I wonder what the disconnect was.
Episode 3,
which starts off with such a fun mini challenge, the Limbo challenge, which I rewatch sometimes just for serotonin. It's so stupid. You get to the main challenge, which is they have to pick their best Judy, best girlfriend, get assigned a box with the same fabrics, and compete against each other to see who wore it best.
This was the episode where sometimes RuPaul gives advice in the little walkabouts, and there are moments in Drag Race history where some queens are just like, I hear what you're saying, and I'm not going to follow this advice, and it ends up working out for them, i.e. Gigi Good. But there are some times when queens listen to RuPaul's advice and it does not work. And I think with Ginny Lemon, it did not work.
It didn't work, but I think Ru threw her a bone for trying. And I kind of do too. It was, I don't know, it was fun watching it happen in real time.
She said that she doesn't really know how to sew. The only thing she knows how to sew is a pillowcase. And I was like, well, cool. You made yourself a pink stretchy pillowcase. Like, that's exactly what she did. It was, it wasn't La La Ree in the bag challenge bad, but it was up there with one of the worst looks I've ever seen on Drag Race. This was definitely my favorite episode for Tia. And I know she's in the bottom, but when she gets to like Michelle Visage, she's like, Tia, do you know what I'm going to say? And she's like, that you want to wear this on yourself, that this is the best costume you've ever seen.
It's so well instructed. Right. Ru is just eating it up, and we all are. We are all in it.
Like, honestly, after, like, Tia's personality is so charming, and her jokes are so funny, well-timed, witty. I never wanted her to go. Like, I didn't care how many times she was in the bottom. Like, I was Team Tia.
I kind of just wanted her to be our fierce Brock ally this season. Just like keep bringing Tia back for just like a second to just say something. Like
episode 3 is won by the very first time we get to see Lawrence Chaney being the winner.
Deserved. Yes. That gown was so well made. I couldn't believe it.
I think it was since this one they picked the best of the two got to be safe, and then Lawrence was the winner, and then the bottom were all the worst of the two. But I thought Ellie Diamond and Lawrence both looked great. Lawrence Chaney won, and Estina Mandela went home because she wore the simplest of simple dresses.
So I found it heartbreaking. But Tia, I think, beat her in the lip sync, which I did not think would happen. And then watching it, I really felt the fire from Tia.
Yeah, for sure. Now we are up to episode 4, which is Morning Glory, the TV news anchor challenge, very similar to what we saw in the United States season 9. They did a challenge like this, like a live news channel.
This was the first time I think we all saw Ahora's full potential come out.
Yeah. So speaking of Lawrence, he wins this challenge.
Which I think was kind of deserved, but I would have given it to Bimini. I had such fun with her and Taste this challenge.
Sister and Ginny Lemon end up in the bottom, and first major gag of the season. Sister lip syncs alone.
Oh gosh. Yeah, they couldn't keep Ginny hanging on. She was not feeling it tonight.
Ginny said, "You know what? You got this." And she walked away. They go back into the workroom, which brings us to episode 5. And Sister's wiping off the mirror message, and she's like, I don't even know if I'm the one who actually won. Like, I'll never quite know if I'm the winner because she just walked away. Episode 5, Ruru Vision. Before we even jump into it, the thing that happened was the sirens go off, and real time, never happened ever, probably never going to happen again, here's hoping. But the state of the nation, COVID has shut the world down. And the queens in their little box of not even knowing what's going on have to go home. They say it's for 2 weeks, but it ends up being 7 effing months. Right. So seven months go by. They're all back in the workroom. Some of them have haircuts. Some of them have new faces and new teeth. Oh, and Tace and Ahura live together now.
We get the eliminated girls coming back in the room, except for Jenny, because she already had hers.
And Veronica, because
she already had COVID.
Yeah, so Veronica failed her COVID test. She can't come back, but she has an open invitation to season 3. This episode, aside from COVID, was also super remarkable for one other magical thing, and that is the earworm that is Bing Bang Bong.
Sing my song.
Ding dang dong. You can't run.
And it's still stuck in my head. It's been weeks. It's been a month, I think.
King Dolls won over, what was the other team's name? Banana
Drama. Banana Drama.
So the United King Dolls win, which means that Lawrence, Bimini, Taste, and Ahura all get a badge.
Ooh, which I think is the biggest win we've ever had on Drag Race. Like 3 was the biggest, and then now I think 4 people winning the challenge together.
The runway was by the seaside, and I thought they all looked pretty great, honestly.
Yeah, minus one ice cream cone. Like
pictures, I'm going to scroll pictures, but yeah, they all look pretty great. And honestly, I forgot to say, we forgot to talk about, they did get to vote since Veronica wasn't here. They got to vote on who came back, and Joe Black is back. And Joe Black, the runway was great, the windblown runway, but I guess it could not save Joe Black from saying that the look in the challenge was H&M.
Isn't that such a funny thing, Michelle and Rue? Meanwhile,
This was the biggest blow up we have ever seen from RuPaul, I think ever. Like name another one. I can't think of anything. RuPaul comes back from a 7 month
there's a
off
couple.
COVID leave. Well, there's a couple, but RuPaul comes back from a 7 month off COVID leave and is like, I did not come all the way back here to figure out how to freaking do this for you to wear some crap from the store that you did nothing to.
It was over-warranted, but so perfect.
Tia Coffee on her Seaside Challenge wears this ice cream cone thing that doesn't show off her shape, which is what they were telling her all before COVID happened. So she wears this bulky ice cream cone thing. I kind of thought the cherry on the head was cute, but that was it. Everything else was just like...
Hair was cute, makeup was cute, but everything else was blah.
Deservedly, Joe Black and Tia Coffee are in the bottom just for like the challenge and the runway. Tia Coffee's runway and Joe Black's challenge. But Tia, like, she keeps saying like, oh, I'll get better. I'm going to prove it to you. Everything I have is much better. Joe Black does go home and Tia is saved one more time.
Which I just shout out to Tia and the last beat of that lip sync doing the stupidest death drop I've ever seen after the music is over. I burst out laughing hysterically. Tia Coffee is a goddess. I'm obsessed with her.
But I think that's kind of her charm again. So before we get to episode 6, we have a COVID special, very similar to the COVID special they did for season 13 in the United States. But this time it actually shows what happened while they were off for those 7 months. Episode 6, we're at the Snatch Game, ladies and gentlemen. One of the best episodes of every season. But now we're back from COVID break. It is Snatch Game. We get to see who they're all being. I don't know any of these characters. Like, I literally had to Google almost every single one of them. But I didn't have to Google who Bimini was, not because I knew the character, but because Bimini sold me who that person was right away. Is
it cold in here? Is it just my nipples? The first line. Everything she said was so good.
The thing that got me crazy, though, is, like, so Lawrence Chaney made a comment in one of his talking heads that, what is it with the comedy queens not being good at Snatch Game? And I'm like, bitch, name one. Like, which comedy queens weren't good at Snatch Game? So this is the first time we see Lawrence really struggling, and the bottom two end up being Lawrence Chaney and Tia Coffee. Bimini gets her first individual badge because her Snatch Game was epic. And
like, I think Bimini's Snatch Game might be one of my top 5 even ever.
For as much as I love Tia Coffee, we've talked about her a lot this episode, and she didn't make it. She didn't make it. And
it was an okay lip sync from both of them, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, it's okay.
Yeah, I think at this point it was Tia's third time to lip sync and Lawrence's first, and obviously Lawrence can't go home. Like, hello, he's been doing so well. So bye, Tia. Episode 7, which is called Lockdown Superheroes. Basically, this time we get a challenge where they have to take... I have a hair.
Oh,
sorry.
No.
Oh no. Where they have to take crap, basically, and make it into something. A costume, a superhero costume. So they play a little mini challenge. And
the reading challenge.
Yes, the reading challenge, which, reading is what? Fundamental.
It's fundamental, babe.
Sister wins.
Which my thing was, I guess she did win. I quite enjoyed her read of Taste.
So Sister gets a head start on picking up her garbage to make whatever they're going to make. And of course, we get views on all what they picked, and Taste is going for the good old copper steel cleaning pads.
Which it worked for, it got lemon and bag of chips safe. So maybe it'll do the same for Tate. It won't, but maybe it will. It won't.
And it didn't, because bottom two in this episode were Taste and Sister, and this is the episode where we send dear old Sister a packing.
Which I was fine with, truthfully. And a horror one.
On to episode 8, which is called Stoned on the Runway. This is the comedy challenge. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts as a comedian and as someone who's been doing live comedy for so many years is that I don't want to fucking do live comedy for 8 people. God damn it! What the fuck? That sounds fucking terrible. Like, I've done improv shows where the only other audience members was the other team playing. Like, that's not fun.
The mini challenge gives Ellie the advantage to be able to pick the lineup for the comedy challenge. And so Ellie plays very strategically, and I don't dislike her for it. I think this is the same thing I would have done. Like, if you're trying to get ahead in the competition, you got to play like Big Brother.
Exactly, which I fucking love Big Brother. Oh,
hello. But you know who didn't love this way of playing? Was
Lawrence Chaney.
Lawrence Chaney. And I think that Lawrence thought Ellie is my friend, and as my friend, she should like do me a solid. Like, if it was me picking the lineup order, I would do her a solid. So why isn't she doing me a solid? Like, she basically putting me right behind Bimini is like failure for me. Like, is she trying to send me home? She's my friend.
I understand why, in context, Lawrence had such a strong emotional reaction. But I mean, then there's Bimini, who's like, I'll kill it no matter what. I don't really care. It's just about temperament. And this is where I think Lawrence's youth really starts showing in a way where I'm like,
yeah.
Ellie, Ellie is younger than you, but being more emotionally mature about this.
The way the lineup goes, doesn't, like, Lawrence could be mad all he wants. It doesn't really affect Lawrence, though, because even though, like, so I had thoughts on this, which Lawrence, sure, his one punchline was funny, but god dang, it took forever to get there.
And I like the camel toe thing at the beginning, but it's like one big laugh at the beginning and the end does not a stand-up make. Like, I love this season, but like a big middle finger to this episode in general. Like, I just didn't care. It's so bad that the episode is named after the runway. That's all I'm saying. Which, I mean, the runway.
Speaking of the runway, maybe that's what saved Lawrence, was because the runway was so incredibly elaborate to be like a geo stalagmite type thing.
I want to do a zit look now, because holy shit, that trench coat with the edgy hair.
Yes. Like, Bimini. Speaking of Bimini, though, her comedy was actually, like, I wanted to see more of it. I wanted to see more of Bimini's comedy. I thought it was so good, and that is not a joke, just a fact. This makes Bimini's third. 3. So now Lawrence Chaney has 3 and Bimini has 3. Now, one of those comes from a group challenge, but still 3 each repeater badges. And of the people left, Ahura has 1 and Taste has 1. Right?
And Ellie is doing her best.
Either way, Ahura went home and I was shook. Episode 9, Beastenders, our final challenge, really. We have 4 people left. Ellie Diamond, Lawrence Chaney, Taste, and Bimini Bombulash. Beastenders is the challenge. They kind of are pretty fair with how they pick the parts.
They all like what they got, which is great to hear, because
nobody did bad. Even like at first, I wasn't paying attention the first time I watched it, and I was like, why does Taste's breastplate not match? And then when I rewatched it, I was like, oh, that's funny.
It's so stupid. Yeah,
like they all did great. Even Taste, who like you would probably think wouldn't be the best. And I guess that's what the judges thought too, because bottom 2 was Taste and Ellie.
Which was so unfortunate. And I don't understand why they keep saying that about Taste, because she did great in the morning challenge. She was top 2 in Snatch Game. She and they kept saying in the comedy challenge, we thought you were going to do bad, but you didn't. And it's like, I think she's established that she's funny and you can shut up now.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of how I felt with Taste the entire season. It was Taste, like, she is not here to like prove anything to anybody. She's literally just having a good time, and you can genuinely tell that. Ellie and Taste lip sync, and Taste is the fourth time in a row. Taste wins, but oh my God, so does Ellie. It's a
deserved
this season.
I loved it. I was so happy. I was like, even though I don't think Ellie's going to win necessarily, I was just really excited for her. She gets to do the press tour. She gets to be in the final 4. Like, yay.
Top 4. So now that brings us to the finale. Are you ready to talk about it?
I am ready to talk about it. And we talked about it before the finale, you and I, and we talked about how we wanted Bimini to win.
Before the COVID break, Lawrence had won 3 challenges. After the COVID break, Bimini won every challenge but one, which was
crazy.
Not by Lawrence, but it was won by Hora. Bimini won every challenge after the break. So, like, Bimini was really lined up to pull this win. And I would love to hear why RuPaul did not pick Bimini. But the challenge this episode is, of course, they have to take one of RuPaul's songs, and in this case, it is what was the song?
Can you feel the love?
So, of course, now they go back after they perform the song, and in the workroom are all the eliminated queens, including Ginny Lemon and Veronica. Of course, we get the final runway. We have Bimini in this white ensemble looking. I loved this. I shared it on my Instagram. Like, this, she looks so good. Hair, dress, everything.
She kind of looks like a superhero in a way. Like, I could see that landing, kicking ass, but being like a fucking princess doing it. Yeah.
Ellie was wearing this super, like, she said it was more Glinda the Good Witch, but I did get like more Gone with the Wind style. Like, Glinda the Good Witch would be a little more princessy, and I felt this was very like Southern United States, Alabama type.
But regardless, it was quite lovely.
So
I loved when she dipped down at the end of the runway and made that hoop skirt go down with her. I mean, that was chef's kiss, gorgeous drag. Like,
of course, Taste. Honestly, this is Taste. This is what Taste looks like.
Yeah, exactly. And I understand with the lip sync that comes later why she chose this. I wish that maybe there was more of those appliques on it, because it just felt unbalanced in the end.
Well, to me, it kind of felt like this is what Taste always looks like. Like, it's good. I'm not saying it's not good, but it's like not elevated to the level that you would think a Final 4 number would be elevated to. Then, of course, we have Lawrence Chaney
in that purple and black look, which I like. I feel like I've always questioned why no one has done this kind of look in a finale with the checkered print, Drag Race kind of look.
The face that I'm doing right now is because I was looking at the Lawrence Chaney with the Peter badge. Like, that's what I was doing with the Peter badge earrings. He's got the Drag Race costume. It's very, like, this is Drag Race. And what a smart time to play this look. Clever. It was so clever. And that means that the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race, after their lip sync, everything happens. All the queens are there. And the winner of RuPaul's Drag Race Season 2 UK is
Lawrence Chaney, which I'm fine with. I'm pretty fucking happy with. I love Lawrence.
Yay. Honestly, my pick to win from the beginning. Bimini was coming up there, but
Bimini had literally everybody I know convinced. I know a lot of people who are upset about Lawrence winning, and I'm like, suck it.
Lawrence Chaney is the very first in every season of Drag Race we have ever had. The United States, all 13 seasons so far, Canada, Holland, Taiwan, UK, any season of Drag Race we've had, Lawrence Chaney is the very first considered to be plus size winner.
It's so fucking time. Over a decade. And I am very happy. If any of them had won, I would have been so happy because I genuinely just loved this entire cast. I don't think I've ever been so passionate about an entire cast of girls before.
This has been one of the best seasons of Drag Race we have seen in a very long time. And yeah, I mean, I'm ready for UK season 3 already. But yeah, I'll take Australia first, down under first. Let's get some New Zealand and Australia in here. That's the season of UK. How fun. Diabetty, I cannot thank you enough for being here tonight.
This was so fucking fun. There's nothing I love more than talking about fucking Drag Race. That's for sure. Thanks, Lita.
Of course. And obviously, hello, subscribe. It's free. I really appreciate you sticking around and watching this entire episode. We made it through a whole season in minimal time, really, all things considered.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I appreciate you being here. Follow me on Instagram. Follow Dia on Instagram. Subscribe to my channel. All those good things. Leave a comment, a like, all of it. I appreciate everything. I cannot thank you enough for sticking around. I cannot thank you enough for being here. And I will, of course, see you later because we've got more Drag Race to talk about. It's never ending, and I don't plan on going anywhere. So in my very famous last words of every video, peace out and love you lots.